Hey guys, how you doing? The Honor Watch 6 aims to combine a classic watch design, extensive fitness features, and exceptional long battery life. Honor advertises up to 35 days of use, an AMOLED display with up to 3000 nits, dual band GPS, and more than 120 sport modes. However, it is not a full Wear OS watch like a Galaxy Watch or a Pixel Watch. It lasts significantly longer, but in return it is more limited when it comes to apps and some smart features. I took a closer look at how it performs in everyday use, how accurate the GPS is during my cycling test, and what kind of impressions the health and sleep tracking leaves. Visually, I like the Honor Watch 6 quite a lot. It looks more like a classic wristwatch than a fitness tracker, and it is available in Shadow Black and Twilight Brown. On the black version, the bezel is made from 316L stainless steel, while the front case is made from aluminum. Without the strap, it weighs approximately 41 grams. On the brown version, both the bezels and the front case are made from 316L stainless steel. This makes it look a little bit more premium, although it is also slightly heavier at around 50 grams. At 46.5mm, the Watch 6 is definitely not a small smartwatch. Now, on my 19cm wrist, I think the size works well. On smaller wrists, however, it may look quite prominent. Honor lists a thickness of 10.8mm, although the sensor area is not included in the measurement. Even so, the watch sits relatively flat on the wrist and did not bother me while sleeping. It is operated using the touchscreen and two buttons. The upper button also functions as a rotating crown, allowing you to scroll comfortably through your menus and lists. By default, the lower button opens up the sport mode. The 1.46-inch AMOLED display has a resolution of 464 by 464 pixels and therefore looks very sharp. For me, however, the biggest advantage is the brightness. Honor claims up to 3000 nits, and even outdoors in direct sunlight, I had no trouble reading the display. The touchscreen also works reliably with wet fingers, and always on display is included as well. Depending on the version, you get either a fluorescent mesh strap or a hybrid strap. Now, the Watch 6 is rated at 5 ATM and IP69. So swimming, rain, and sweaty workouts are therefore no problem. According to Honor, however, it is not designed for scuba diving, hot showers, or saunas. The Watch 6 leaves a good impression when it comes to usability. The system runs smoothly, the animations look clean, and the round display area is used effectively. Notifications were shown reliably during my test. WhatsApp or Telegram messages can be read, but I was not able to reply to them directly, so that only works with Honor smartphones. There is no freely usable keyboard and no general voice input for messages. Compared with the Galaxy Watch or the Pixel Watch, this is a clear limitation. Thanks to the built-in microphone and speaker, you can make Bluetooth calls directly from the watch. The quality is perfectly fine for a short call while you're on the go. I also find the gesture controls practical. By rotating your wrist in a specific way, you can answer incoming calls, control music playback, or snooze an alarm. This is particularly useful when your other hand is not free. You can also record voice notes directly on the watch and then synchronize them with your smartphone. Your own music can be stored on the watch as well and played through connected Bluetooth headphones. However, there's no full app store. Spotify, YouTube Music, Audible, and other standard third-party apps cannot be installed. Wi-Fi and LTE or eSIM versions are also missing. Once you leave the Bluetooth range of your smartphone, phone calls or new notifications are therefore no longer available. Other typical features include weather information, calendar, alarms, timer, you got a compass of course, music controls, a remote camera shutter, and a Find My Phone function. NFC is already built in. Now, at the time of my testing, however, the payment function had not been enabled in Germany. For sports, the Honor Watch 6 offers more than 120 modes. In addition to running, cycling, swimming, and strength training, there are also more specialized programs for football, badminton, trail running, and various martial arts. In football mode, the watch can record things such as distance, sprints, and heat maps. In badminton mode, it can analyze the number of strokes, stroke speed, and stroke power. I like the fact that Honor actually provides additional data for certain sports instead of simply adding as many names as possible to the list. Runners get a running coach, target settings for pace or heart rate, and various running performance analysis. For positioning, the watch uses dual band GPS as well as several satellite systems. I tested the GPS myself during a bicycle ride through a park and then through built-up areas. A total distance of about 6 kilometers was recorded. Now in the park, I rode over several sections of the same route multiple times. On the map, the individual GPS lines were mostly very close to one another. This shows that the watch was able to record the same route consistently across several passes. On open sections, the recordings also followed the actual route very cleanly. In the city, the line likewise stayed mostly aligned with the roads and paths. There may be small shifts at individual corners or near a larger building, but I did not notice any major outliers during my ride. For a smartwatch in this price range, the GPS performance is therefore pretty good. For health tracking, the Watch 6 measures heart rate, blood oxygen saturation, stress, and heart rate variability, among other things. It also provides a body energy score that is intended to show how resilient you currently are. A health scan combines several measurements, while a morning report displays the most important information from the previous night. I also tested this sleep tracking. Now, during my night, the watch recorded 8 hours and 20 minutes of sleep and gave me a sleep score of 85. The Honor Health app clearly divides the night into deep sleep, light sleep, REM sleep, and awake periods. 2 short wake-up moments were detected and the overall presentation appeared plausible. Now, the battery is probably the biggest reason to buy the Honor Watch 6. At 980 mAh, it is unusually large for a smartwatch. Honor claimed up to 35 days in most power-efficient usage scenario, up to 17 days with typical use, and up to 42 hours of continuous GPS tracking. Now, in my opinion, the 35-day figure should not be treated as a normal result for everyday users. Anyone who enables the always display, regularly store GPS workouts, and make intensive use of the health tracking features will get significantly less. With normal smartwatch use, around 2 weeks seemed like a realistic guideline. Previous real-world tests have also produced results in this range. Even around 2 weeks would still be a very good result. Many Wear OS watches already need to be charged again after like 2 to 4 days. This is especially convenient when traveling. Charging is handled through a magnetic contact adapter. Universal Qi charging is not supported because the battery lasts so long. However, this hardly matters in everyday use. The Honor Watch 6 stands out above all because of its premium design, very bright AMOLED display, long battery life, and good GPS performance. The sports and health features are also extensive and appeared plausible overall during my testing. There are limitations when it comes to apps, messages, replies, Wi-Fi, and LTE. Anyone who does not need a full Wear OS watch but is looking for a long-lasting and well-equipped fitness smartwatch gets a well-balanced overall package right here.